Oh my god, it's happening.
Are you wearing your AirPods?
I am, but they're hidden.
They're hidden. Well, for me, they're not hidden. So, oh my god, this is kind of making me like nervous because I'm so excited. Like, I don't know if you have the same feeling where you're just like...
I mean, I feel like it just feels so natural because we've been talking for the past 2 hours on FaceTime, and now we're just like talking, the two of us, but there's kind of an audience, you know, you're like, people are gonna hear this, but I think we're still gonna, you know, talk the same way we always do because this is fucking raw conversations.
Raw motherfucking conversations. Yeah. Oh my god, yes.
Oh my god. It just feels so crazy. Like, we've always wanted to do this, you know, and it's like happening, so.
I know. This is like, just so that you guys know, like, Raw Conversations, whoa, I can't even speak. Raw Conversations has been something that has been like an inside pun for so long. Like, whenever we would talk about anything sexual or anything like kind of controversial, it would be a thing where we'd say like, oh, Raw Conversations, you know, and we thought about making that a podcast for a hot minute, but it never really happened because I think the timing was just not right. And now, you know, from one day on to another, we were just like, okay, this needs to happen. This is the fucking time. Like, this is it.
I mean, I think it's just funny because we always kind of, you know, it was a pun and we were kind of always just joking about it, but I think it's like deep down, we should have started a podcast such a long time ago because me and Queena always have these conversations that are so interesting, and every time we call each other and talk for literally hours and hours, you know, we talk for so long, every time we're just like, damn, we should have recorded this because I think we have conversations that are so intriguing and we ask ourselves so many questions, and you know, I feel like it's time for us to share that with the world. So here we fucking are.
Yes.
And I mean, it's crazy because I think like we've known each other for like, what, 2 years now?
Mm-hmm. Something like that.
And it feels like we've known each other for so much longer. And I think Queena for me is the person that I feel the most comfortable talking to, and also the person that I feel like I can talk to about anything. And, you know, there's no one that I would rather be doing this podcast with. To be cheesy.
Oh my god, I know. But I think it's also because we genuinely have such a, like, I think we're the same on very many levels, but we also kind of trigger each other on so many levels because we're very different. So it's such a healthy, like, encouraging, empowering, but also challenging friendship where it's like, okay, well, I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear, you know, and from my perspective, obviously. And then, you know, I think that it's also, we understand that our differences are a good thing, and sometimes we're not going to agree on things, or I might give you a piece of advice, and I think that this is something that a lot of people that have friendships have to learn. Like, you can give your friend a piece of advice, but they're not always going to take it. And I think that this is something that we also both learned, where it was like, okay, well, just because I'm your friend and because I love you doesn't mean that whatever I think is right for you is right for you, because at the end of the day, you're going to know what's right for you. And I think that our friendship developed in such a healthy way because we started to understand that. And also, what we do, what not a lot of people do, is just be honest about things. Like, I think that if there's something, you know, we lived together for like, what was it? Like, we lived together for a prolonged period of time. Yes. And in that period, like, I know that whenever anything was going on, I would always be like, okay, Juanita, if there's something, you need to fucking tell me. Like, you need to speak the fuck up.
Yeah. But it was also like, Juanita, like, you need to fucking go clean the toilet, bitch, because I can be a mess. But yeah, I think it's like we never really argued. Like, I think if there was something wrong, it would just be resolved. And I think we understand that you can agree to disagree. You know, and so in this podcast, we're going to be talking about a lot of, I think, controversial things that maybe we don't even like agree on. But I think it's so important for people to learn and understand that you can just talk to people without necessarily agreeing. And it's not all about, you know, convincing someone of something or whatever. And so, yeah, I think what's so interesting in this podcast and just in our friendship is like, we are so different, but yet we're so similar. And I think that's going to make this podcast just super interesting because, you know, it's just spicy. So what should what can people expect from this podcast? Like, what is, I mean, we're going to talk about everything.
Yes, yes, literally. Like, I think this is also the thing that I think is beautiful about people like us, not to toot my own horn or to toot your horn or whatever the fuck people say, you know, like, no shade, no tea, but I think we are great people because we're not afraid to talk about things that other people might be afraid to talk about. Like, we are like, okay, well, you know, this is our opinion. This is the way, like, opinions, and this is something that we also talked about yesterday, and this is another topic that, you know, whenever I talk about anything, I'm like, oh wait, oh my god, like, this is a whole ass, let me not go on a tangent, but we talked about, like, what is the absolute truth, and that there's no absolute truth, and I think that we understand that, so whenever we're talking about something, you know, it's gonna be our opinion, our perspective, and I think that both of us are so open to seeing different kinds of perspectives, and I know that this is true because we're both different people with different perspectives, and we hear each other out. So I think, you know, there are going to be some spicy conversations on here that most people will not be having on the internet. Like, this is what you keep behind closed doors for no one to ever listen to. And we're like, okay, let's put it on the table. Let's talk about it. And I also want this to be like, you know, if someone has a topic where it's like, oh my God, like maybe you don't even dare to talk about these topics with your friends or family or boyfriend or whatever it might be, send that shit our way. We need to talk about these things.
Yeah, we will talk about it. Yeah. It's almost like if that's the thing that you've never really talked about, or you don't even like think about it that much because you just push the thought away, we will discuss it. And I think, you know, this is not necessarily a place where it's like we're the experts and we have the facts and we know the truth. No, this is a place where we're going to talk about it, and when you listen to it, you're going to be able to question yourself on it, and so you're going to be able to form your own opinion through it. And I think that's really what we're trying to do here. You know, we're not trying to educate anyone on anything. We're not trying to convince you of anything. This is just a place where you can come, listen, have a good time, because we're also out here, you know, sipping some coffee, sipping some matcha, maybe some martinis one day, who knows. It's fun, it's chill, but at the same time, it makes you reflect. And, you know, that's what a friendship is, really. Like, we'll go out on Friday night and have cocktails, but then we're going to talk about the most deep shit.
Yes.
So,
oh my God, I think we've had, like, the best business conversations over, like, us just going out, especially when I was living in The Hague. I remember us just going out and talking about business. Like, this was, you know how people go out and they're like, okay, let's forget about life. And we're like, well, let's go out and talk about business, talk about making money, talk about the future, like, yes, all of these things. Like, I think that's a very much, and also, even if we go out, I think this is also, like, we have a healthy balance. Like, we can go out, we can party, we can have a great fucking time, and then the next day it'll be like, okay, well, let's wake up and make something out of this life. You know, let's do something that really makes us feel good. Let's explore. Let's, you know, kind of dig deeper into what it is that we really want, instead of have another day where we're just like, okay, well, fuck it. Like, I don't want to deal with life. I think we're quite confrontational in that sense as well, where it's like, okay, we both look our own, I wouldn't say like imperfections, but let's say imperfections in the eye, and we're not scared to admit that sometimes, you know, we might be wrong, or we might not know everything. And this is also why it's so important, like Juanita just said, like, we're not the experts. We're just the people talking about shit that should be spoken up about. So I think one of the things that really started this conversation, regardless of the fact that we've had so many conversations where we've both been like, oh my God, this needs to be recorded. But one of the things that I noticed has come up a lot, and that I've been seeing on YouTube, because I'm always on YouTube, is something that I wanted to talk about today as well, is that girl, like, trend, I would say, like the TikTok that girl trend, where it's like, oh, become your best self, wake up at 5 a.m, la-di-da-di fucking da, and I'm like, wait a minute.
I just feel like I'm gonna connect that thought and that whole topic to also the hustle culture, because that girl thing, like, I've seen it, I saw some things on TikTok and like YouTube about it, but I haven't seen so many videos of it that I can talk about that topic. But I think that whole topic connects also with hustle culture, which is basically, you know, the wake up at 5 a.m, like, don't listen to nobody, like, be your best self, you know, like, really just making people feel like they have to be this perfect version of themselves, where, you know what I mean? It's like this pressure and everything. Yes. So I think we can kind of talk about that. What were like the videos that you saw, and what were they like kind of showing exactly of that girl?
So I think like the main thing I think the main thing that bothers me about the trend, it's not the, oh, I want to wake up at 5 a.m. or, oh, like I want to have a fit body or I want to eat healthy or whatever. It's the idea that there's a person out there that embodies your best state more than you could personally do it yourself. So you're going to strive to become them instead of looking at yourself and saying, hey, what's best for me? Hey, what do I want to embody in my life? What are the like habits that I need to have? Like, how can you be the best version of yourself, a balanced version of yourself, versus how can you try to duplicate what someone else is doing in your life? And I think this again reflects so much in the hustle culture, because I remember us, in like, what was it, a year ago, 2 years ago, where it was like, okay, well, let's read all the books about what, the most successful, most powerful people are doing and duplicate exactly what they are doing. Even though...
But that's what they always tell you to do, Yes. In network marketing, I don't know if you remember, so we both used to do network marketing, which is basically like a business where you have to get people into, that's a whole other topic. But we both used to be in this business, and there were these leaders and people that would kind of tell us what to do and guide us in a way. And so they used to always say, look at what these people are doing and duplicate it. I don't know if you remember that, but that was always a thing.
Yes.
And so, yeah, what you're saying is like, what might work for someone might not work for someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And so I used to think that I had to do exactly the same things that other successful people were doing. So I was like, if I don't wake up at 6 a.m. or whatever, then I'm a failure.
Mm-hmm.
And, to this day, like today I woke up at 11 a.m., got a lot of shit done, and then, I go to sleep a little late. Like I go to sleep at like 2 a.m. sometimes, and I'll watch a movie, but it works for me. So it's like, and I'm still, making money. I'm still doing, like, running my business, running multiple businesses in a way, working on stuff, projects, like, and so I used to beat myself up for it, for, like, not, doing things the way others are doing it. But now I'm like, that's actually okay.
Yeah.
So what has your experience been with it? Like, have you also had that?
I know. Oh my, I mean, let's just say that in every single area of any industry, it can be the spiritual community, it can be like, the hustle culture community, it can be the network marketing community. I think that no one is actually saying do what feels best for you, and even if you're not consistent, do the things that matter on the day itself. Everyone is like, oh, you need to wake up at 5 a.m. every day. Well, for fuck's sake, sometimes I love waking up at 5 a.m. and sometimes I love waking up at 11. And if I wake up and after I wake up, I still do the things that I need to do, which is not always going to be meditating every day, journaling every day, doing yoga every day. Like, I rarely do anything every day. Sometimes I'm able to sustain it for like a longer period of time, maybe a week, 2 weeks, maybe a month. But at one point I'm going to be like, okay, well, this doesn't feel good anymore. Because the moment you start forcing it, you start going against what feels good, and you start to kind of, I would say, how people have this thing where, I mean, habit trackers are a good thing, but when I look at habit trackers now, I feel like I'm trying, if I use a habit tracker, I'm trying to create this image of perfection. What? Do you not know what a habit tracker is?
Habit trackers?
Oh my god.
No. So, hello, what?
So a habit tracker is basically like a calendar, and it has like all these circles, or like whatever, and you check the days. Like basically you're tracking the habit, like how often did you do it? Did you do it every day? So like for the month, for the year, or whatever, and you'll just check the box after you've done the thing for a day. If you don't check the box, you're probably gonna feel like shit. And I've tried this so many times where I would start a habit tracker. So I'm gonna be like, okay, I wanna do yoga every day. So then, there would be all these boxes that I didn't tick at the end of the month because it was very unrealistic for me to be able to do anything every day. Sometimes, and I think this is also a level of awareness that you reach at a certain point, maybe you'll start off by disciplining yourself, being consistent, and trying to do something every day. That's kind of what we did as well. But then at one point, I think without you digging into, okay, I'm going to be lazy today, like you'll know, okay, this is going to be best for me. Even if I don't really feel like doing this thing, I'm going to do it because long term, it's going to make me feel better. Instead of it being, okay, I don't really want to do this thing because you know, I'm just kind of lazy right now and I don't really feel like it. Like, once you reach this level of self-awareness, you're probably going to be able to pull yourself out of bed regardless of whether you feel like doing something or not, because you know what is right for you and you know that you have to do that thing in that moment. You don't need a fucking habit tracker to tell you that you're doing good or that you're performing well or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, that makes sense. But I also feel like, you know, when a lot of people set like goals. So we talked about this the other day when we were FaceTiming, but you know, it's like if you set yourself a goal of I'm going to go to the gym, you know, this can mean different things to different people, but there's like different levels that you can, you know, set as goals. Like you can say I want to go to the gym twice a day, every day for the whole week, or I want to go to the gym every day for a week, or I want to go to the gym 3 times a week, or I want to go to the gym once a week. Whatever, you know, like there's different levels for different people, but like I think setting a goal that's basically unrealistic in the first place kind of and really difficult for you, like that's going to make it super hard for you to actually achieve it. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's like going step by step as well can help people. Like that's, you know, helped me, whether it's like for going to the gym or whatever, because at one point I was like, okay, I'm going to go to the gym every day. And then I wouldn't go every day because it was so hard. And I was like sore as fuck, you know? So
oh my God.
If I wouldn't go every day, I would beat myself up for it. And now my camera just stopped recording. Hold on. Oh my fucking
And now her camera just stopped recording. It said, no, boo-boo. We're not going to do this anymore.
I'm starting to have like a little headache, and I think it's the light.
Yes.
So I will put my sunglasses on. I know it looks ridiculous, but
oh my God,
I literally feel better. And I feel like these sunglasses represent me because I just always wear these. Like, if you are listening to this on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, do go over to YouTube to see me wearing these glasses.
Oh my God, yes. The visuals are everything. I mean, the visuals of this cozy spot too. Cozy as fuck. But yeah, I think it's definitely the lighting. Like, I always have that myself, like where I'm like, if I have these light boxes, I'll die.
Yeah, it's, you know. But
oh my God, it's so funny to me because when I look at you, I can see like the ring light, the top of the ring light in the reflection.
Oh yeah, true. Wait, I do need to get myself this like sparkling water because I think I need water in my system.
Oh my God, guys, water break. I also need water. Why do I feel like this? What the fuck?
So this was... Yeah, guys, you definitely need to go to YouTube for this one. Okay, my whole fucking sparkling water just exploded and it's now all over my pants and I am soaking wet.
Oh my God.
I cannot tell you how sad this is. I need to change. It's wet. Oh my God, I'm gonna put...
She got fucked up.
So I think it's important to set habits and goals, set goals that are, you know, achievable and more realistic, because if you don't achieve them, because you probably won't because they're hella unrealistic, like, you're just gonna be fucking sad and guilty. I mean, you still have to have goals that are very ambitious.
Oh
what are you looking at? Queena is quaking. What is it?
My camera light is blinking. Like, I don't know why it does that. Anyways, let's continue on.
This podcast is... Queena, you're scaring me. She's like looking...
Full of experiences. I'm just trying to look to see if it's gonna turn off. Because it's just blinking. It's not... Oh, and now it's not blinking anymore. What the fuck? Okay, so what we were talking about and what I kind of also wanted to play into what you were saying, like, I think this is something that I got introduced to recently, is it's kind of the idea, and I told you about this too, where it's instead of setting goals, set an intention. Like, if your intention is to be more healthy, you wouldn't have to go to the gym every day, because you could go to the gym one day, then go for a walk, then maybe the next day you're going for a swim, and you're still achieving this intention of being more healthy. And it could even be having a good meal, so you don't limit yourself to the boundaries of just going to the gym every day of the week. And I think this is why we kind of get to the point where we don't do things anymore, because we don't really look at the intention and the orientation of why we're doing something anymore. We start to look at it as something to be achieved. like we dig deep into the fucking masculine and we say, well, this is something that I want to conquer. This is something that I want to overpower. Instead of saying, this is for me, this is to make me feel better, this is to make me a greater human being within my own body. And when you say, okay, let me set an intention to be more healthy, that can mean many different things. And this is also why I think that the idea of, you know, having, like for me, having a set morning routine, it doesn't work. Like I never, ever, ever will have the achievement of being able to do a morning routine over and over and over again in the same way. Like some days I feel like I need to journal. Sometimes I feel like I don't need to journal. Sometimes I feel like I need to meditate. Other times I don't feel like I need to meditate. Like I will literally, I feel like you should kind of look at things as this is like the toolbox of things that I could possibly be doing. What do I need today? What do I need to take today in order to get closer to the version of myself that I want to be, or to treat myself in my full embodied essence, you know, where it's more than just I want to tick off a box on my habit list. I want to achieve a goal and tell people that I've been going to the gym for a month straight. Well, guess what? No one gives a shit. So I think that's kind of funny. Puts things into perspective.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because, like what you're saying, I definitely understand it, but I also know that my brain works a little differently to yours. Like, I just think, like, for me, it's, like, I also think that way, but at the same time, you know, because for me, when I look at health, I look at different things. I don't just look at the gym. I'm like, food, gym, you know, just physical exercise, and, you know, how well I sleep, and then other things such as, you know, meditating and feeling mentally well, and you know, maybe also just physically, like skincare and kind of stuff like that. So health for me is a lot of different things, but when I have to do something, like I do have to like set certain goals, because otherwise I mean, I think you do, because you're, you know, we just all do things differently, but like I will have to say like, okay, I am going to try to go to the gym at least 3 times a week. Like 3 times a week, that's great. Or 2 times a week, you know, whatever. And then if one day I'm not feeling great, then I'm like, you know, I'll go another day, because I have that space to kind of, you know, but if I don't set myself a goal, it's with gym, it's with a bunch of other things too, you know, I will probably not get it done, because there's no goal there. But if I set a goal of going to the gym 7 days a week, then like that's too much for me personally, so I know I won't get it done. Like that's
well, I think that's also like kind of, you know, for me, I know what I need. Like if I say I want to be a healthier person, I know what that looks like. Like I know that the healthier version of me would go to the gym on a regular basis. Like maybe I wouldn't say like let's say now I go to the gym every other day, and then on the weekend I don't really. So, you know, I go to the gym maybe like 3 times or 4 times, but sometimes I'll go more, sometimes I'll go less. Like in my head, I can kind of have the idea of, okay, maybe, you know, there's a numerical version of like, or attribute to what it is that I want to do. But I think that most of all, and this is maybe where I'm very in tune with what I know I need, and also pushing myself to actually do what I need. Like without, like I think everyone needs different boundaries to set for themselves. Like you might need stricter boundaries than I do, and someone else might need less boundaries than I do. Like someone might be like, well, I don't even have to think about the intention, because I already know what's good for me and I'm just gonna do it. And for me, sometimes I need to drag myself to do what I'm gonna do, and I'm telling myself like, yo, we have to get to the fucking gym today.
Well, it's like, you know, because we were talking about that thing before, how Queena lost her whole wallet, she lost her IDs, she lost her shit, and now she has to probably go back home to the Netherlands to get her passport. And you were saying that you have been having to do that for the longest time, but you were procrastinating. So that's, you know, one of those things where you're like, well, maybe you should have been harder on yourself because you didn't get it done. And so for me, that's with most things. Like for me, if I don't set myself the goal, like I just know how I am, and I know that also I look fucking ridiculous with these glasses, but I know that I won't just go and like do it. Like that's, you know, like that's so interesting, because I'm like, wow, that's so cool that you can just tell yourself, you know, I want to be healthier, and then your brain automatically kind of, you know, like I think that's so cool, because my brain doesn't work like that.
Well, I will have to scold myself. I will have to tell myself like, yo, you have to do this. Like, you have to do this, not because of other people, not because of circumstantial things, but because of yourself. And I think this is also the thing, like, the reason why I didn't get the passport thing done is because I didn't really have to do it. Like, I think for me, especially because I don't have a plan in life, you know, like, I also told my mom this. I was like, well, I don't really know what I want to do in my life right now, and because of that I'm not really making any moves because I'm still trying to figure out, okay, do I want to stay in Croatia, do I want to go to another country, do I want to keep my place here, do I want to move around, do I want to be completely like off-grid, remote, living in a camper van or something like that. And I think that, well, I needed to get my passport because I've had so many opportunities where someone was like, oh, let's go to Mexico, I'll buy you a ticket. Let's go to Indonesia, I'll buy you a ticket. Let's go to Egypt. And I was like, well, I don't have a fucking passport, so... now a movie has been stopped automatically. I don't have a passport, so I'm not going fucking anywhere. So that was something that kind of just came up for me, where it was like, well, I don't really have to do this thing. I should do this thing because then I have more opportunities, but I don't have to do this thing. And due to that, I never did it. And I think that this is something, maybe when we don't have a vision of what it is that we want, and this is such a, I feel like it's become so fucking stupid in my head where I can't hear this thing anymore, but you know, you have to know your why. Like your reason why, your vision. Know your why. Like, what is your vision? Like,
but it's true though. I
mean,
it's
it
like,
is.
You know, when, like, how can you get to the destination? No. How can you have a road if you don't know the destination? Is that it?
Kind of like that. Like, how can you get to your destination if you don't know what road to take? Or no, actually, no, because I think that, you know, maybe
how would you keep going? Why would you keep going?
When you don't know where you're going?
Why would you keep going on the road if you don't know where you're going? Then you just keep going, but you don't really know. But isn't the interesting thing about this
concept, like, if we say it like this, like, how would you know what road to take if you don't know the destination? Well, if you just start taking a road, it's gonna take you to a goddamn destination.
That's true. And then you don't know what the destination is, but it will take you somewhere eventually. But if you know what destination you're taking, you can also take that road in order to get to that destination. You see? So that's really interesting. But I think that most people just take a road and they don't know the destination that they're going. And then they might end up at the destination and they might be like, well, I actually don't fucking like this destination, right? And then they will have to take another road. But that's okay too, you know?
Yes, it's a different way of going about things, I guess.
See, for me, I like the idea of having a destination and taking the road, but sometimes I also go the other way, you know, I like kind of let it flow by itself, but I think I'm someone that has a very structured type of thinking in a way where I have to know what the fuck is going to happen in the future in a way, but then now I'm kind of more chill than I used to be, and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to let things happen, live day by day, but still also have a plan for later.
Yes.
But yeah, that's an interesting way to look at it, isn't it?
Well, it is. I think for me, it's also like a balance of the two. Like, I like to know things, but I also don't. Like, I want to be surprised by life in some ways, but I also need to know. So, I don't know. Sometimes I think that because I don't know a path in my life, like, I don't really know what I'm going to do in the next couple of months of my life. I'm just kind of, you know, taking things day by day and just
oh my god, like, do you know that TikTok? Just living life. I'm like, just living life. Like,
oh my god, why do I not know this TikTok?
If you, oh my god, please let me show you. I'm just gonna play it for you.
Oh my god,
it's Kourtney Kardashian, I think.
Living life.
Living. Because it's literally what you just said. She's just like, I'm just, listen.
My vibe right now is just living life. I am just
oh my god.
Life. I was just there living life. You can't say we didn't live life. We are definitely living life. Just like live life and have fun. Live that life, girl. Live that life.
That's
just living life. Camera. Oh my god. We are having so many fucking technical difficulties on this fucking pod episode. Like, what the hell?
I think it's okay though, because we, you know, it's the first time we're like doing this, and
yes. I mean, also what I realized and what I just thought about is that maybe someone that is watching this actually knows something about this, but did you know that we can actually connect our camera to our laptop to connect it to Zoom, to have Zoom have that camera as the video recorder?
Stop.
Yes. So I actually think that this is what we should be doing.
Oh my god, but like, do you need specific like wire? Like,
I think you just need a wire to plug it into your laptop, and then you can actually pick it as like the video thing.
Yeah, but that makes sense, because it's right? As if you used, you know how you used to use like webcams before?
Yes.
But it's just like different. Like I've never, I mean, we can try it.
I mean, we could always do that and then have our mics record like the external, like on GarageBand or something, so that, because I know that on Zoom, like the audio will get fucked up sometimes, even if you're using a mic, like it can sound really, really, really bad, and Zoom does a lot of fucked up shit with the audio. So we could record the audio externally and then have the video just be, you know, like on Zoom or whatever, so that we don't have to
By the way, we're gonna cut this. Like, I think we should cut this part.
Well, I mean, maybe some people actually know something about this. Like, I bet there are a lot of people that follow us.
I don't think it's...
I don't know. I don't think we have to cut this. Guys, if this is cut, you'll know. But if it isn't cut, then know that I won.
Yeah. Oh my god, no. I mean, I just feel like I would get... I wouldn't get bored by that, but just, you know. Anyways... Moving on.
I mean, I don't
know what the fuck we
this
were
is another
about.
thing that we are always talking about. Like, for me, I think that people actually like to hear this shit, like where we're just like, oh my god, like whatever. Like if I listen to a podcast, I actually enjoy listening to like the normal bits where it's like, oh my god, this went wrong, or oh my god, let me get a sip of fucking tea or water or whatever, or oh my god, the camera just fucking turned off, guys. This is a horrendous journey. Like, what the fuck?
Yes,
we don't know what the fuck we're doing.
Yeah, no, that yes. But I think it's just like, I feel like certain parts yes, but then certain parts no. I mean, but you know, we will see.
We'll see. Yes.
We were talking about, oh my god, like literally we have, now I don't remember what we were talking about.
Well, I think we were kind of just talking about like life. Doing life. Oh, and letting life take the wheel. And I think this also comes down to like us in this journey. Like, let's say last year we were doing something completely different than we are right now. Our perspective on things has changed. Like, we went from being two judgmental little pieces of shit.
I think we have to kind of explain, I think it's interesting to explain how we met, like what we were doing when we met, and how we have evolved from there, and how things have changed. Because I think that comparison, you know, not just, oh, like we met, you know, there, but just the comparison of like how everything, you know, was before and how it is now, and or our thinking before. And, you know, now, like, we have lived a year, pretty much, in a pandemic. So it's one of the years, in the 2 years we've known each other, has been a pandemic. So I think there's been so much growth in that, and also the year previous to that. So...
Yes, it's just been a fucking journey. Well, yes. So you start off by telling your side of, like, what were you doing back when we met? Like, what was your life fucking like, dude?
Listen, I was 17. I wanted to be rich. I wanted to be fucking rich. I just wanted to be successful. I hated high school. It was a fucking nightmare for me. Didn't like anyone there. I mean, I had a few friends, shout out. But, you know, I didn't like being home. It was just, for me, the life where I just wanted high school to end and I wanted to leave. That's all I wanted. And so I think my mental escape to not be in this environment, and also just doing something that I liked, and kind of like that drive that I've always had, is, well, first I was a YouTuber, you know, a couple of years ago, and I've always kind of been into the social media influencer, all that stuff. And then later on, I kind of dropped that, and then I was, you know, a little bit more into like business stuff, and more, you know, I was getting into that world. I was 17, so I came across like network marketing, Forex, and all that. I was in 2 different companies, and then the second company that I was in, that was a Forex kind of automated software that would trade for you. Not bashing anyone here, but it was just a joke. Let's be real. But I was just so happy because I met Queena, and she was like my, what we call in network marketing, upline. So she was kind of my, what would you say, leader? She was like she was kind of above me, okay? But we were, you know, we became friends from that moment. And then I went to The Hague to visit her in the Netherlands. And from there, it just kind of started flowing, and and then we kind of both decided that it was time to get out of network marketing in that company, because like, you remember that moment where we were like, are we gonna stop this? Like, are we really gonna get out of it? It was such a special moment, I feel like, because it was, oh my god, you're like frozen.
Oh my god, yes, I know. I can hear you. I can hear everything that you were saying. But it just took a hot minute for me to catch up, because on my audio, you just kind of sounded like slow and then very fast and then slow. But I know that moment when we were like, okay, I think we need to get out of this, like what? But dude, I think
we need to switch to FaceTime.
I remember that moment when we were like, okay, I think we need to get out of this. But I think the hardest part was that you start to, I think on an identity-based level, this shit got integrated into who I was. Like this, and the people that you start working with, like network marketing is very much cult-like, I would say. Like people tell you that if you get out, it's gonna ruin your life and you're passing up on the biggest opportunity in your life, and nothing else out there is gonna be the same as this, and there were people around you that supported you, and this is a family, and blah 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 blah. And in the end, I think you could look at this situation as like network marketing in itself, in the way that I've experienced it, is like having a fucking toxic relationship. Like literally having a toxic relationship where people say that they want what's best for you, but they actually want you to do what's best for you, but what's best for them. Yes. And this like little moment when we were like, okay, like let's say the business was just not aligned with what it is that we wanted to do, and even if they would have, improved the software, which maybe they did, maybe they didn't, it's still, I think that personally, I just couldn't do it because of even the word upline to me, that gives me internal cringe right now, because I don't want anyone to look at me as if I'm better than them. And that is literally what having an upline means. It means that you look to someone.
But it's also so funny because like you were literally just my upline because you were there kind of a little bit before me.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like you were signed up before me. But also for people that don't really know what network marketing is, because I feel like we're talking about everything kind of as if people know.
Yes,
but
yes.
It's just like a business where instead of the company selling directly to its customers, they would use their customers as their kind of sellers and their marketers. So the people, let's say I am interested in this one product of this company. I can only buy it from people that kind of like the customers of the company who also kind of work for the company in a way. So if I kind of start working with someone that sells the products, I can buy the products from them, but I can also start selling the products myself to other people that might be interested. So the thing is, people usually when they get into this, like maybe in the beginning, they're like, oh, I'm just going to sell it a few to my friends because they're interested. But at one point it starts getting more like, you want to sell to as many people as possible and integrate as many new people as possible into your kind of group and business, because they have these like ranks that basically if you, if you have 50 or 100 or 200 people like kind of beneath you that join because of you, you will get paid more monthly based on that. Mm-hmm. So that's what kind of makes it, I think, a bit like chaotic.
Yes,
and
it is a mess. Like, and it's also.
It is.
I think a lot of the times people don't really. I'm taking off this necklace because it keeps making sounds, and I know that my microphone is gonna pick that shit up. But I think that a lot of people get like it's very glamorous, like the perspective of it, the image that is being presented is very glamorous. Oh. But in reality. And this is also maybe why I decided, and I knew deep inside of me that this was not the right path for me, because I'm never trying to put out an image of my life that is not accurate. Like, I'm trying to show all aspects in all areas. Like, and this is what I think also attracts most people to me when they're either buying from me or connecting to me. It's that I'm not like a fucking rose smells horse shit and sunshine type of person. Like, I don't even fucking know. Like, I'm the type of person that's like, well, if it's good, it's good, but if it's shit, it's shit, Like, that just is how it is, and I'm gonna share that with the world, because I don't think that anyone should have the perspective of another person that's perfection.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's also funny because I used to be, when I was in this thing, I used to be so much like, I remember the stories I used to share. It was like, yes, about to cash in big, like about to, about to make big moves, like, and like what's about to happen is crazy. Like it was always about the hype. It was always about, and what the fuck did I have in my bank account? I don't know, 100 euros. Like,
let's be fucking honest. I only made 500 euros from this company, and I invested definitely like double or triple that.
I mean, it's just so ridiculous. But to be honest, I think everything in life is an experience. And if some people are happy in network marketing and they're making their money, good for them.
That's fucking great for them. Yes.
I still believe it's just because I think it's like. People can argue that, yes, like in network marketing, you're selling products and stuff, but like in a normal business too. But the difference is like here, you're selling to people, but then those people are also going to have to sell to people. Like when you normally would purchase, I don't know, this fucking sparkling water from a business, that person is not going to go sell that sparkling water to other people. Like it's kind of it's a bit hard to explain, but like there's a reason for, like to me, I see it as like there's a reason why it can't really work. And like, people don't sell you because they're selling the product. They're kind of selling to you because they want to make money from you as a person joining. Like, it's such a weird thing.
I mean, I think it also depends on the business, obviously. Like, we have this experience with Forex. I know that there are, like, I know that from, like, in Magic, there are a lot of people that do really... are like, and there are some people even in Forex, probably like in the business that we were in, that will actually get the product to use the product and don't want anything else, just to use the product. But it has to be a damn good product in order for that concept to work.
That's true.
And I think that a lot of people just get caught up. Like if you start selling the product to someone by saying that they can make money with that product, it's the intention is already off. Like,
but here's the thing also. Yeah, because here's the thing, because, let's say, I'm here, I have my network marketing, I have my Forex product, which is a software, and that software says that it, trades your money for you, and so it can make some money for you. Let's say you're really only interested in the product. Or let's say I have a Forex course that's going to teach you how to trade, right? You might only be interested in the product, but that's your interest. If I get you into the company, my interest is not the same as your interest. My interest is for you to bring me in people. Because if Queena brings me in people too, into my group, then I'm going to make so much money from that. That's what everyone wants. Everyone wants to get, a leader to, what we call a leader to join them, because that people will bring in so many people. So, although you would be interested in only purchasing the product, I will push you to get people. And in the end, everyone kind of ends up in the same thing.
I think that's where it kind of fucks up. Like, that's where it gets fucked up. Because I think there are a lot of people in this world, and especially a lot of people in network marketing, that should never, ever, ever have their own business. Like, that should just stay as far away from having their own business as possible, because they're just not cut out for it. And this is not to offend anyone, and I don't even have anyone in mind when I'm thinking about this, but I genuinely think that there are too many people in network marketing that are just they're not meant to have a business. Like, they just need to work for someone instead. Because the thing is, let's say if it would be different, if the system wouldn't be fucked up, then the only people that could be working in the network marketing company would be people that are actually manager type of people. People that can manage people, that can recruit people, but that also understand that some people just have a function of not doing jack shit and just using the software. And then other people have another function. But the problem with network marketing is that you're being taught that everyone should be selling more to other people. And then the people that are not really good at managing or selling, they'll sell to someone that then wants to sell also, but then they never get educated in the proper way. And every single layer, it just gets watered down. And at the end of the day, there are going to be people that are going to be losing a lot of goddamn fucking money because of the people that, got recruited by, maybe in this case, it could have been me. Like, I probably have recruited someone that was really just like, and I got them in not because of the software necessarily, but because of the envisioning, like the way that I can help other people see that there's a possibility of making money using a product like this. Like, I'm pretty fucking sure that I recruited a couple of people that should have never been in business. And not because they're bad people, but because they're not business people and they will never be business people. Like, some things, I think some things are taught and some things are just ingrained into who you are as a being.
I will argue, well, it's not arguing, but I will say that to me, the way I see network marketing, to me, I don't see it as a business. And we've had this conversation.
Yes,
I now see network marketers as employees. But because, I feel like you're more being...
So the rest of the... Well, I guess the rest of the pod is just going to be, like, literally on YouTube. We can just turn off the video and just have our logo so that, you know, everyone can listen to the audio, but there's not going to be video. So I think that yes, but also no. Because when you're an employee in a company, and this is what I think makes a big difference, you actually get recruited and worked in the right way. You have a clear guidance as to what you have to do, who's your leader,
yes.
Who do you look up to, what is being done. Here, there are people in managing functions that cannot manage people, and they can't teach shit because they don't know what they're teaching, and they don't know what they're talking about. Like, literally, they don't fucking know.
You can't call these people, like, entrepreneurs. And, it's... I mean, whatever. We don't even have to call them anything. We can just call them network marketers. But I think...
they're network marketers.
I think my conclusion, personally, for anyone that's listening to this and that might, have, maybe in the past week you've thought about network marketing, or maybe, maybe you're just thinking of it right now, reflecting on it. I would say if you have any interest in doing it, or like maybe even a very passionate interest in doing it and you've been thinking about it, honestly, I would tell you to go and try it, because... Yes. I think it's like the value from the experience, because, or someone that's in network marketing right now, don't stop. You keep going, and then, you learn your own experience from it, because no one could ever tell me to stop. And I'm kind of stubborn, but I don't think I'm the most stubborn person. Like, I know there's more stubborn than me, but no one could tell me to stop. And no network marketer can be stopped by someone telling them so. So just, you keep fucking going, do your thing, because you will learn that, you probably will get out of it, but you will learn that, either it was for you or it wasn't. But,
and that's the thing, like, different people. But I think this also, like, to bring it back to what we started talking about also, because we started talking about this in terms of, okay, what changed inside of us. The fact that you're saying this right now, to me, is already such a big fucking change inside of you, because I remember last year when we were recording a video for YouTube, and we were talking about the same topic, and you were like, don't fucking do it, don't get into network marketing, this is a big scam. And I think this shows, I mean, that's probably still what you think, but you understand things differently now.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm just saying it because I know that people don't listen to other people telling them to do stuff, especially network marketers. But I just, my belief is, they can keep going, but they will fall out of it when their time is right. That's how I see it. Or if they stay in it, good for them. But I just want everyone
it's different for everyone.
Yeah.
Like, I think it also depends on, like, we are people, like, we need to like something to sell it. We're good at selling things that we are passionate about. Now, there are some people that are just salespeople that can just sell with no conscience, with no, no thinking about other people in that sense. Like, they're not
that's true.
very empathetic, I would say. If you're empathetic, then yes, exactly. Like, just selling in order to make... If you're good at selling, just to sell, and you don't give a fuck about anything else, which I'm not blaming you for that. I'm just a very empathetic person. Then go for it. I bet that you're going to make a whole lot of fucking money in network marketing, because I think the main reason I personally got out of it was because I couldn't bear the thought that I was taking money from people, that needed that money. I was like, I can't do this. Like, I feel responsible. I feel guilty. So, but I think that's already a big shift within you. And I think that, that experience of network marketing, it just, for me, this was the start of everything. I mean, this was it.
Yeah, for me, it was also super important. But I want to also, because I was going to kind of fast forward to now and where we are now in our lives. But first, I did want to say, like, how we felt emotionally, because we can talk about the fact that we almost didn't make any money. We can talk about how it doesn't make sense logically to us, but let's talk about how we felt mentally. Oh, that was loud. I was a mess. A lot of my relationships got ruined, and that's, that's not necessarily because of network marketing. It's also the relationships themselves. But you know, my family and I, we were always arguing. It was, you know, they didn't approve of it. And, you know, I would fight back and say that I thought this was right, which, you know, that's okay. But I always felt this stress, and I always felt like, oh, why do I not have new people in yet? Like, it was really stressful for me in a way, but it also sometimes it would be like these very hype moments of like, oh my god, we're gonna make so much money. You know, remember all the ideas we had to like...
Yes.
And so after all that, it was kind of just a downfall. So it was like kind of highs during which you didn't even make money. It was just a mental high, and then it was the after, and it was like a
very
downfall.
low lows.
And
like reality.
You know, how did you experience that?
Oh my god. I believe like I was mentally doing, and I thought I was doing really good. Like sometimes I would be doing really good, but then other times I would be in the supermarket crying for no reason, just because I was so exhausted. And I think the whole like network marketing also comes like it goes hand in hand with hustle culture. Like people always like I was up at 3 a.m.
so much
for these fucking calls that I didn't even really have to watch, but I just wanted to prove something to someone, you know, and then I would get praised because I was at the call at 3 a.m. like, oh my god, you're doing this and blah 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 and this and that. Oh my god, like I remember, and this is not something to be proud of. Like now if someone would tell me, yo, this call's gonna be at 3 a.m. like I would be like, yo, that's not my fucking time zone. That's not my fucking time zone. Like I ain't you can record this shit, I'll watch it after. But the idea that I have to like, it's kind of like subconsciously the people that we were working with were ingraining that we would have to put our health to the side in order to achieve success. And maybe this is probably also not something that they are conscious of.
Oh my god.
That they know. But I know that so many people that we talked to, even, you know, back then, they were not doing good mentally. But they were performing at a very high level, or trying to perform at a very high level. And there were these, I don't know, like it's almost like you're on drugs. Like, you know, you're taking the drugs, which is like the group calls. You get so fucking excited, you get hyped up, and then you start doing your own group calls, and then you have these sales calls, and then at one point you're off of the high. Reality kicks in. Dopamine goes away. Serotonin goes away. Oxytocin levels very fucking low. And you're in this depressive state, because then you realize, holy fucking shit, I haven't achieved anything, and everyone in this company is kind of pushing that thing. If you haven't achieved that, that's not because of anything else but yourself. Like, shut the fuck up. I'm sorry, but shut the fuck up.
Literally. But yeah, I mean, that's just also true. Like, every time I feel like when we talk about this, we just understand each other so well. And, you know, to me, that does prove a point. Obviously, we only had like one experience, and we had our own experience, and it was in one company, but I think a lot of people go through what we went through. I am really certain of that, because, you know, a lot of people even that were in marketing that I know are not in it anymore. A lot are also, but you know, sometimes you wonder, like, how are they doing? It's just interesting, but...
Oh my god, I wonder that all the fucking time.
Right? Like, but let's fast forward to now, and how we're feeling now, and what we're doing now, because I think a lot of people don't really know what we do. You know, let's just kind of say what we're doing now, how we're feeling.
Well, Juanita, oh my god, Marijuana, what are you doing right now?
I am enjoying life. I'm just living life.
I'm just living life.
I just came back from a Greece trip that I went to for a little bit, for 10 days, saw my family. I also spent 5 days alone, which was great because, you know, here in Brussels I live with my boyfriend most of the time, always together, and it was really great to take some time for myself and to just reflect on a lot of things. And, you know, it just made me realize also, because when I take that time of reflection for myself, I always kind of realize the current state of my life and think about it, and then think, you know, am I happy or am I not happy? And honestly, like, I am really, really happy. I think it's just sometimes when I'm here, you know, it's a fucking cloudy ass country and it's always great, but overall I am really, really happy because I'm kind of evolving, and, you know, I'm working on my agency. I have a marketing agency where we create Instagram filters, and I'm also working on a clothing brand right now, which is still a little bit blurry, but I'm working behind the scenes. And, you know, I think owning and having and running a clothing brand is just, not just clothing, but maybe also other things in the future. I think that's really the dream and the thing that's always been my goal since I'm like a little kid. And so I'm just working towards those things slowly but surely. And, I'm just fucking happy. Like, I'm trying to be happy with the little things. I'm a very, very different person from 2 years ago. Like, it's, and now, like, I have a great relationship with my family. I have my close little tight-knit circle that I'm happy with. And I'm just fucking happy, bro. Like, and I don't have pressure on myself as much, like, if I'm, resting or if I'm not achieving certain goals, because I don't have that hustle culture mentality anymore. Like, I wake up at 11, I watch sometimes 2 movies a day, and that's fine. Like, I still get all my other stuff done.
Yes.
So, I'm fucking happy, bro, honestly. And, yeah, I'm fucking happy. I forgot to mention that I also do go to online uni, but it doesn't take up much of my time, so it's chill.
Oh my god, yes. This was also something that we were talking about before. Like, it's like, well, and this, oh my god, like, we should be sharing this post right now that you shared with me, like Gerard Adams' post, where it was like, well,
let's share it.
Happy, I don't fucking remember what it was like.
I'll share it with you.
Basically, where it's a 9-to-5 job, and you're
Let me
like,
read
oh, yes, you have to read it.
So I think we won't say who posted it because it doesn't really matter anyway. But
I already fucking said it, bro. I already said it.
But it's a carousel post on Instagram with 2 pictures. And the first one says, go to school, find a job, pay off debt, climb the ladder, vacation for 2 weeks, pay off mortgage. I can't really say that word. Mortgage. And then die. So it's a very kind of pessimistic way of thinking. And then we have the second picture, which is then showing the guy on a yacht in the sea. And it says, work for yourself wherever and whenever you want. Travel the world. Feed your passion. Live free. And it's a very positive image, whereas
like
the first
very black
one,
and white.
The first one is like a picture of people kind of in the train, in the metro, in the subway, kind of tired, looking at their phones,
depressed.
sad. Yeah.
Yes, and then the second one is like someone traveling, so
Super
happy, blah blah blah. And
glamorous.
okay, let's first of all, there are 2 perspectives that we can look at this from. Like, there is the logical perspective, and also the one where it's like there's no absolute truth, and then there's the marketing perspective. From a marketing perspective, fuck yeah, this post is great. I know exactly that this is exactly for the audience that he is targeting. And this is calling in more people of those people that he is targeting. This is a great post in terms of marketing. But when we look at, the perspective of, is there a right and a wrong way to live? I think this post is just way too black and white. And this was the way that we were thinking before. Okay, everyone needs to have their own business. If you're working a 9-to-5 job, then, you're going to be depressed and unhappy. And that's not what, no one should be working a 9-to-5 job. No one should be going to university. Everyone should be an entrepreneur and whatever the fuck, like, so ignorant.
Yeah, so ignorant. So close-minded, actually, in a way.
Because in reality, there is not a right way that works for everyone.
I think it's like, what makes you happy is what matters. If you're happy fucking, working this fucking job that you love with people that you love, oh my god, so sorry. Why is you calling me now? My head hurts a lot, by the way. We need to, end it soon because I'm dying.
So, Juanita can never use this light again.
Man, I'm dying. It's like a warmth also. Let me be real with you guys. I'm fucking dying with my headache here. Whew. But yes, I think it's so important to be self-aware of what, you want, of what makes you happy, and understanding that it's not about what other people are doing or how they're living, because I think on Instagram and even on YouTube and just all social media, fucking TikTok, oh my god, it's so easy to look at other people's life and other people's vlogs and be like, wow, this is so fucking dope. Why am I not living like this? But, maybe that's not what's gonna make you happy. And it takes a certain, I think, maturity to understand that and self-awareness to realize that. And I think it's also trying a lot of different things to realize what makes you happy,
Yes.
So what are you doing, Queenie, in your life?
Well, okay, so basically, first of all, in the last year, I was doing coaching. Business coaching and confidence coaching, which was really great. It was a really great experience. I really enjoyed it. Thought that I would be doing that for a whole lot longer, but at the end of the day, I think this was just a stage in my life that was really beneficial to me and that taught me a lot of things. But in my life right now, I'm at a place where I don't want to have to be anyone's authority. Like, I don't want to have to be the person that people are going to come to and be like, hey, Queena, what do I do? Like, I just, like, if I have a conversation with someone and naturally I'm going to give them some advice, that's really fucking great to me. But being paid for that and being responsible for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Like, I just, yes,
it's like a lot of weight
right
mentally and emotionally because you're like carrying people's weight and life almost on your shoulders, no?
Yes. And like the need to share, you know, and I think that this is probably something that you can relate to a lot as well, like especially coming from like an influencer background. Like, I spent my, like, basically half of my life on Instagram showing people things, talking about things, talking to people, having this idea of having to be online and having to show something or talk about something or teach something all the time. And at one point, and I think this was November of last year, I realized that I just want to be with myself. Like, I just want to spend time with myself. I don't want to have to do anything when it comes to, you know, being an online persona or whatever. Like, I want to share naturally something that feels good and not from a place where someone is going to be like, oh, I want to buy from you because of this thing that you said. Like, no, I want you to see my true essence for what it is and, you know, me existing, and then for you to want to pay me. Not because I said this certain thing or because, you know, I've been posting every day consistently. No, I want it to be realistic to who I am as a person. And that person that I am is not going to be online all the time. She's going to come when she feels called to. She's not going to be there just because she has to. Like, I don't want to have to do that shit. So I decided that I was going to stop coaching, which was a big shock to a lot of people and maybe also to myself in a way. And then I started working as a graphic designer and social media manager, which has been really great for me on the side. You know, I do a lot of things that just ground me. Like, I sew, I make some necklaces. I just do everything that I feel called to. And that makes me feel happy in my life. And I like to try out a lot of things. And I think that's exactly where I should be at in life. You know, I shouldn't be forcing myself to live up to unrealistic expectations or thinking about if I'm going to make money tomorrow. Like, I don't want to be thinking about if I'm going to get kicked out of my house because I have to get another client. Like, right now, I just have the opportunity to sit, chill, know that money is there, money is coming, you know, it's consistent, it's going to be there. It doesn't, you know, it fluctuates based on how much I work, but it doesn't, like, it's not that money is never going to be there. I know that money is always there, even when you're having your own business, but for me, I just want to have the freedom to go out for a camping trip and not think about anything and not think about posting or people or clients or whatever. Like, I love creating, and that's what I'm doing right now. And this, if you would have told me this a year ago, honey, I would have told you that you're fucking mental and that I'm never gonna go back to working for anyone. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna. People that go to university are fucked up. Like, they have to go and find Jesus. Oh my God. Yes. Yes. I'm happy with what I'm doing. See, this is the way we are. This is gonna be the end of the podcast. We fucking love you guys. Next week we'll be back with a new episode. Peace out. Peace and love. Make some money. Go pee. Go fart. Eat some shit. We love you. Bye. Rock our... We out, bitch.